Gavin Newsom is facing a firestorm of criticism from all sides over his mishandling of the California wildfire crisis and the chaos surrounding the LA ice riots. From Hollywood figures like Mel Gibson to political commentators like Bill Maher, the backlash is intense. Critics are calling him sluggish, self-absorbed, and completely unfit to lead. But no one hit harder than Joe Rogan, who didn't hold back when asked for his take. Just listen to this.
Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down. While it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with these, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas. We speculate. We're gonna have some meetings. Like, he's
Really?
This fiery rant came at a time when California was literally going up in flames. And what did Gavin Newsom do? Practically nothing. Homes, businesses, and entire communities were under threat. Yet instead of stepping up to protect the very people who put him in office, Newsom was busy cozying up to real estate speculators, seemingly more interested in profits than public safety. The backlash was immediate and intense, but Newsom didn't budge. That's when Joe Rogan stepped in and absolutely unloaded on him, delivering a scathing takedown that left no room for interpretation. Now, here's the clip of Newsom discussing speculators while Los Angeles was in chaos. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. All right, let's roll the footage.
It's so creepy because it's happening while these people their houses have been burned, all their childhood memorabilia, all the stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have is gone. All heirlooms, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And this guy's like standing in front of all this stuff, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use.
The development plan.
Watch this. Play this. And
I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
with a big smile on his face.
So it's not hard to see why so many people believe Gavin Newsom simply didn't care about his constituents. I mean, who flashes a smile while the homes and businesses of the very people who elected him are going up in flames? Even if he was working behind the scenes, grinning for the cameras while California burned didn't send a message of leadership, it sent a message of indifference, and optics matter. In times of crisis, they matter even more. Californians didn't need a photo op. They needed a governor who looked and acted like he genuinely cared. But instead, they got smirks and silence. That's the real issue here. Leadership isn't just about passing policies. It's about showing up, being present, and standing with your people. And Newsom's presence during one of the state's darkest hours felt like a slap in the face to every family watching their world go up in smoke.
Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. Speculator, watch this. Talking to Josh. Look at this. Look at this little wiggle. It's excited about the possibilities of speculators coming in. And he's saying, we're move forward. We're going to move forward on that. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. I think like 69% of fire insurance pulled out of California because they're like, this is too crazy. Like, you guys aren't doing jack shit to manage this. You're not clearing the brush. The amount of money they could have saved by just clearing brush, by filling the reservoir, that 11 million gallon reservoir was completely empty during the time of full fire season. Like, why didn't you fix that?
Yeah.
Like, it's all insanely mismanaged. And then this guy is on television talking about, we're real excited about that. Doing a dance in front of the burned down home that people used to sleep in.
You could see the anger on Joe Rogan's face. This wasn't just a rant for show. He was genuinely furious. And honestly, once you hear what was going on behind the scenes, it's hard to blame him. Get this. During the height of the fire crisis, California's water reservoirs were nearly bone dry. Why? Because a massive portion of that water had been diverted to grow almonds. Yes, almonds. Now sure, almonds are a major part of California's agricultural economy, but seriously, at what cost? Are we really prioritizing nuts over neighborhoods? Lives were on the line, homes were burning, and instead of focusing on emergency water, reserves, and firefighting resources, the state was flooding almond orchards. It's not just absurd, it's negligence dressed up as economic policy. California had a choice: act boldly to protect its people, or continue catering to profit. And they chose the latter. No wonder Rogan and half the state was absolutely livid. But what pushed things even further over the edge? While entertaining real estate speculators, Newsom also decided it was the perfect time to boost his own image by launching a podcast. Yep, in the middle of a crisis. That move earned him even more heat from Rogan. Watch this.
So what is Gavin Newsom really trying to do here by launching a podcast? Be the next Joe Rogan? Well, that's not going to work because the world's most successful podcaster has absolutely slammed Gavin Newsom for this, posting on X, "If the ick was a podcast." What an endorsement. Also, journalist Michael Schellenberger has taken aim at Gavin Newsom on X, saying you cut fire prevention, LA burned. You spent $24 billion on homelessness, it rose by 40%. You reduced penalties for violent crime. It's 31% higher in California than in the US as a whole. And instead of taking responsibility, you're trying to become an influencer. It's pathetic.
Gavin Newsom has one of the most troubling track records of any governor in California's history. Period. Time after time, he's demonstrated a clear pattern of prioritizing image over impact, optics over outcomes. Whether he's striking a pose for the cameras, or chasing the latest headline-friendly cause, Newsom appears more invested in building his personal brand than in actually serving the people who elected him. His leadership doesn't feel grounded in principle. It feels driven by ego. And now, some within the Democratic Party are seriously floating his name as a potential presidential candidate. That's not ambition, it's delusion. If the party truly believes Gavin Newsom is the solution, they're asking the wrong question. I don't think he stands a chance in a national election, and honestly, I hope he doesn't, because if he somehow ends up leading this country, don't expect steady leadership. Expect chaos, wrapped in a designer suit and marketed as progress. America deserves better than a man who failed his state and thinks he's earned a promotion for it.
Although I did get like a bizarre, I did enjoy affecting the election.
Oh, dude, imagine. I can imagine.
I did enjoy it because I didn't want to. I did not want to get involved in any way, shape, or form. But it got so weird.
Yeah, you'd express that publicly in the past.
I was like, I don't want to have nothing, and I don't want to have anything to do with it in the future. I didn't want to. I just felt sucked into it. I'm like, like we can't do this again. We can't do it with these same people that fucked us for 4 years, and then they're gonna we're gonna do it differently now.
Figures like Gavin Newsom and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are prime examples of why people like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk have distanced themselves from the modern left and shifted toward the center-right. It wasn't some sudden political transformation, it was a reaction to the chaos, the non-stop wokeness, the virtue signaling, the hollow, performative politics. All became too overwhelming. What started as a movement rooted in progress and justice has spiraled into a circus of contradictions, where outrage takes precedence over real outcomes. Instead of adjusting course, the Democratic Party doubled down, alienating anyone who dared to question the new orthodoxy. The result? A mass exodus. Free thinkers, innovators, and everyday Americans started walking away, frustrated, disillusioned, and fed up. People aren't asking for perfection, they're asking for common sense. But when leaders like Newsom and AOC are the face of the party, that's a tough sell. The left didn't just lose voters, they lost trust, credibility, and their grip on rational, effective leadership.
Welcome back. Anti-ICE protests erupting across Los Angeles and major blue cities over the weekend. President Trump not backing down on his illegal immigration crackdown, particularly when it comes to criminality. He posted on Truth Social about the expansion of efforts to detain and deport illegals in big blue cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York.
Recently, the president ordered the deportation of illegal immigrants across 4 major U.S. cities, in most areas. The operation was executed smoothly and without major incident. But in Gavin Newsom's California, things took a very different turn. What started as a peaceful protest quickly descended into chaos clashes with law enforcement, looting, and widespread destruction of property. And where was Governor Newsom in the middle of all this? Sitting on his hands, watching as officers were overwhelmed and communities fell into disorder. Instead of stepping up and restoring order, Newsom chose to virtue signal, sided with the protesters, and refused to take decisive action. His inaction didn't just embolden the mob, it put his own citizens at risk. Eventually, President Trump had no choice but to deploy the National Guard to regain control. Only then did Newsom finally speak out, not with accountability, but with a tweet drenched in political theater. While his state burned, he prioritized optics over action. And this is the guy some are pushing for the White House? Give me a break.
Now, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, claimed today that Donald Trump has not called him, not even left a voicemail. He also said Americans should be alarmed that a president deploying Marines onto our streets doesn't even know who he's talking to. That's what Newsom claimed. That prompted Donald Trump to show the receipts.
He said the first call to Gavin Newsom was not picked up. The second call Gavin picked up. We spoke for 16 minutes. I told him to essentially, quote, and this is quoting the president, get his ass in gear and stop the riots, which were out of control more than anything else. This shows what a liar he is. Said I never called. So here is the evidence. And here is the call log that the president sent me from his phone. This was June the 7th.
Oh, there's so much to unpack there, but let's start off with, how does the governor forget a 16-minute phone call with the president?
Gavin Newsom isn't just proving to be inept and inefficient. Trump's claims hold any truth. He's also been flat-out dishonest. For weeks, the left-leaning media has been in overdrive, slamming Trump for supposedly deploying the National Guard to California without even informing the governor. The narrative was simple. Trump acted unilaterally and recklessly. I'll admit I believed it too, till Trump dropped the receipts. A call log revealed he spoke with Gavin Newsom for 16 minutes before the order was issued. Not a missed call, not a voicemail, a full-on conversation. So what gives? Either Newsom somehow forgot about that call, or he deliberately misled the public to paint himself as the victim hand. As usual, the media ran with it without questioning a thing. This isn't just political spin anymore, it's calculated deception. When leadership is missing and honesty is optional, chaos fills the gap. And yet, this is the man some Democrats want to put on the national stage. It's the rest of America. Would be wise to think twice before buying what California is selling.
Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass have already proven their incompetence and poor leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, as we experience rampant lawlessness and civil unrest, it's never been more clear they're unable to respond effectively and responsibly during calamity. And I ask my fellow Angelenos, why are Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass still in office? How much more of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate? It's time to take back our community and our state, and put the power and the privilege in the hands of competent leaders whose goals are to protect us and the way of life this nation was founded upon.
More and more voices are calling for Gavin Newsom's resignation. And honestly, who can blame them? Californians are fed up with the endless circus of empty promises, political theater, and performative leadership. Time and again, Newsom has proven that he's simply not equipped to govern a state as large, as diverse, and vital as California. From his catastrophic mishandling of the wildfire crisis to the worsening housing shortage and surging crime, Newsom's tenure has been a masterclass in failure. And let's not forget one of the most baffling decisions of all: diverting critical water reserves to almond farming while wildfires ravaged communities. Almonds over people. That's not just bad judgment, it's an outright betrayal of public trust. How someone with such dangerously misplaced priorities ends up on a presidential shortlist is beyond comprehension. It's not just laughably, it's alarming. Californians trusted Newsom with their homes, their safety, and their future. And he's failed them at every turn. Resignation isn't just a political demand, it's a necessary first step toward restoring accountability. And as for the presidency, he doesn't deserve to be anywhere near it. Gavin Newsom has failed California, plain and simple. From bungling wildfire responses and siding with violent protesters, to misleading the public about conversations with President Trump and prioritizing almonds over human lives, his record says it all. He's more concerned with optics than outcomes, with image over impact. The state is spiraling under his leadership, and instead of owning his failures, he deflects, deceives, and doubles down. The calls for his resignation aren't partisan noise. They're a desperate plea for real leadership, and now some Democrats want to promote him to the White House? If this is the best they have to offer, America should brace itself, because Newsom in the Oval Office would be a national catastrophe. And with that, we'll wrap up today's video. If you appreciate honest political commentary, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.